Hello, my name is James Conrad, and it's a pleasure to be with you here for the Configuring Active Directory series that focuses on the 70-640 exam from Microsoft. I gotta tell you, Active Directory and the product from Microsoft with Windows Server 2008 is more full-featured than anything we've ever had before, so there's also more to learn than ever before here. We've got a lot to cover. One of the things we'll be covering here, first of all, is just an introduction to Active Directory. Active Directory is a new thing for some people. They may not have worked with Active Directory before, so we'll just kind of cover some brief installation items here as well. And then we'll also take a look at Server Core. This is one of the new features that I really like within Windows Server 2008. This is going to give us the ability to work with a slimmed down version of the server, which is fully functional, but very light on hardware and maintenance requirements. Also, we can take a look here at read-only domain controllers. This is a great way to secure domain controllers, especially in places where you just might not have the physical security you want. Everybody always says, oh, you got to have physical security. You might not have it. You might not be able to get it. It just might not be available, but a read-only domain controller will be a great way to help secure things, even in insecure locations. We'll also talk here about operations masters in this series. This is a specific role that domain controllers have that only one of them can have in the entire domain or in the entire forest. So we'll look at some of those, as well as the domain functional level and the forest functional level. You can get yourself additional features within Active Directory if you raise the DFL and or the FFL respectively. And then as we continue looking at Active Directory topics, we'll look at automating Active Directory accounts. It's kind of cool. You can actually create a whole bunch of different accounts using automated methods, so you don't have to manually doing it using the mouse and the keyboard in kind of conventional methods. We'll also take a look here at managing users, groups, and computer accounts, and that's probably the large part of what most administrators will do on a daily basis. We take a look also in this series at Active Directory Lightweight Directory Services. Now, this has been available in previous versions of Active Directory, but it's kind of expanded out here in Windows Server 2008, and it may grow in terms of what people are going to be able to use in most corporations. Right now, it's still a little bit rare that you see a lot of people using LDS, but I think on the horizon there, we're going to see that you can use LDS to custom configure your own data and configure where exactly you want it to replicate within the organization. We also take a look here at Active Directory Rights Management Services, or ADRMS. This is where we can specifically control whether or not people can modify documents beyond just something like read permissions, whether or not they can print those documents, whether or not they can email them to somebody or forward them. So you can get very granular and specific on what people can do with documents and emails and the like. We also take a look at Active Directory Federation Services. This is a great way to interoperate with another company, but to not necessarily set up a whole forest-wide trust, but just to be able to access a narrow scope of resources between your two organizations. Then we'll continue our discussion with DNS, which is essential for the proper operation of Active Directory, and Active Directory Certificate Services. This is really core to making sure that you have security in a lot of different respects. It goes back to the Active Directory RMS that we took a look at earlier. You can use it for your users so that they can sign and encrypt their email, or for smart card enrollments. All different kinds of things certificates can be used for now. And we'll also take a look at backing up and recovering Active Directory as well as your whole operating system. You need to have a plan in place for this, and fortunately Windows Server 2008 makes it easier and more automated than ever to do. And it really works very, very well. We'll also take a look at some maintenance of Active Directory so that we can keep it running lean and mean. We'll also look at group policy objects, which are the best way to comprehensively control virtually everything that your user can see and do. And then we'll conclude with monitoring Active Directory. This is going to be important not only for Active Directory, but for the operating system itself. And we'll look at a whole bunch of new tools that we have to make sure that we can keep an eye on how our systems are performing. Well, I do hope that you enjoy listening to this series and watching these particular videos, or nuggets as we call them here at CBT Nuggets. It's been my pleasure to teach them, and I hope that you enjoy them as much as I enjoyed making them. And with that, let's get started.